Hi, I figured I'd share a little bit of information about myself and how I managed to become a mortgage loan officer. It wasn't the original plan. I originally went to school for biology, so my undergrad degree is in biology. But while I was at the end of my undergrad, I needed to get a couple of electives, so I took an economics class, and I fell in love with it. This is what introduced me into the financial sector was taking that initial economics class, and I liked it so much I ended up taking another one, even though it wasn't necessary. But I wanted to learn a little bit more about it. So I ended up graduating from college. I joined the fire department, which has nothing to do with biology or the financial sector, but it was an awesome job. But it didn't pay that much starting out. So I wanted to own a home, and from my little bit of economics knowledge, it'd be in the middle of a financial crisis. Property values were really low, and I knew that there was nowhere for them to go but up. So it was a very important goal for me to own real estate because I knew that it was going to be a winning formula to own real estate while the property values were low and wait for them to go back up. So anyway, I tried to purchase my first home. Pretty much every bank I walked into looked at my student loans and my little fire department salary and said, "This is not going to work." But I was determined. So I went online, started looking up the guidelines and the rules about student loans and mortgage lending, and I was able to figure out a way to get it done. So I brought the information I found online to my loan officer and said, "Hey, I think we can get it done this way." And we ended up managing to get me my first loan to purchase my first home. The next year after that, I bought another home, and the year after that, I bought two more. And by the time I got to the end of my fire department career, I had a nice little real estate portfolio. I went back to school to get my master's degree in finance. I got my mortgage license and ended up relocating from Michigan down to Florida. And I've been writing loans ever since. And one of my favorite things to do is to help people who were in a situation like I was, where they're walking into banks, the banks are telling them no, they can't get qualified. But a lot of times a no is just a not yet. And once you realize that, and you realize that there are ways for you to take steps to get to the point where you can own, a lot of times it can be a lot faster than you think it's going to be. And I love helping people to take that journey. So that's what I do now. I help people with mortgages. So if you have any other questions or you want to hear a little bit more about my story, I'd be happy to share. I got a button on this website where you can click schedule a call. So I'll catch you guys later.